What's up, guys? HeySteveDave here. Wanted to bring to you my one of my favorite plays for All-Madden, which is bunch flanker drive. Wanted to talk a little bit about the actual routes for the play first, and then we'll jump into why this is so deadly and how you can utilize it in All-Madden. So first I want to take a look at the wide receiver 1, which is going to be the main route that we're looking at. And in this picture, it's going to be the B receiver, Jones, who's going to be running a drag route across the left there over the offensive and defensive line. Right next to him, we have our slot receiver, Moss. He's going to be running an out route up about 10 yards and out to the left. And next to him, we have our tight end, Reed, who's going to be running a deep post route over the middle. If you look below that, we've got our halfback who's going to be running a wheel route. That's really going to be our second read. And really, those are the only two between the wide receiver 1 and the halfback. You do have the wide receiver 2 running a deep streak route on the left-hand side of the field, but really there's no place for that play unless it's just complete desperation. So first I want to go ahead and take a look at a man coverage setup. And the first thing with man coverage that you want to look for is this defensive back on the left-hand side. If he starts out on the left and goes in motion over the middle, it's going to immediately indicate that you're dealing with man coverage. So as soon as you see that, what your first read is going to be to the wide receiver 1 doing the drag route. If he's open, go ahead and give it to him for a pass, and it should be an easy 10 to 15 yards. If for whatever reason the wide receiver 1 gets caught up and you're still dealing with man coverage, the other great option with this play is just go ahead and roll out to the left after your left tackle engages, and you'll be able to scramble ahead for a huge gain. This is almost nice as a designed run, or if the play just breaks down the defensive ends or defensive tackles shedding their blocks. You do want to make sure that if you're going to run this play, that scramble is available. Otherwise, you're not going to end up with a lot of good options on man coverage in case the wide receiver 1 doesn't get open. So I do like to make sure that scramble is an option before I run this play. But that being said, it is an excellent play to gain a ton of yards. From time to time, you may see this nickel coverage, and what you want to do is pay close attention to this defensive end. He usually makes an inside move, which will leave the left-hand side of the field wide open for a big gain. Next, I want to go ahead and take a look at some zone coverages. Zone coverages are really what make this play so deadly on All-Madden. And the reason is because that there is a coverage breakdown when you're on the right-hand side of the field. And if you take a look at this defensive back, what's going to happen is he's actually going to break off and run with a tight end up the field rather than cover the halfback. So anytime you get a zone coverage and you're on the right hash of the field, then usually what you're going to see is that defensive back is just going to completely forget about the halfback. Now, it does also work for the dime zone coverage, which is basically the exact same read. You can just take a look here, and again, the defensive back that's assigned to the halfback is just going to forget about him, run right up the field with a tight end, and leave the halfback open for a huge gain. This does work on the left-hand side of the field as well when you're on the left hash, but you will need to flip the play in order for it to work. So, but really, I've found that this play is really, really good within the 15-yard line, as it's going to be almost a touchdown every time you get zone coverage. Lastly, I wanted to go ahead and take a look at the counter formation. The counter formation is the same lineup that you get for man coverage when the defensive back doesn't go in motion. An easy way to tell if you are dealing with a counter is immediately after the play, it will not let you take control of your quarterback. So usually you have a couple different options with a counter. If it is a critical counter, pretty much the only option is going to be a lob pass to the halfback. It does carry with it a chance for a fumble, so it's not the safest pass, but it's pretty much your only option versus a critical counter. Versus a medium or a low counter, you will have a few different options. You can either scramble it up the middle for a nice gain, you can pass it to the wide receiver 1 if he has enough separation, or you can hit the halfback. Usually I like to make a couple quick reads to see who's going to be the open one or if I need to scramble. And that concludes the bunch flanker drive play breakdown. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that it's going to be helpful for you in your head-to-head matches coming up soon. If you guys like the content that I'm putting out on the channel, please subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next video.